Good evening, friends. Good evening, very healthy and beautiful humans. Today's chat goes like this. Laminin, the true God's particle is already within you. So all these wasted funds, the construction of the CERN and all the other laboratories, projects that they are building it underground, digging kilometers of very useless machinery to produce a God particle, to prove it that it exists. So they're starting an assumption that God is not real until they prove it, which is almost epiphany of disturbing anti-religious view of our life. So we have been created from the Big Bang, and nothing else was there to kind of guide us where and how we're going to line up our organs, where we're going to put our eyes, and so on. Very chaotic, you would say, that these scientific dealings with the God and us as its creation. So, in short, the true scientific proof the scientists already have, yet not talking much about this, is this little molecule called laminin. It's well known amongst all the microbiologists or people who are dealing with exploration on the cellular level of our body, because our body is still a very big mystery to all of these so-called medical doctors, pharmaceuticals, and biological creatures of the scientists who are trying to prove something that it's so obvious, yet nobody is bringing this to the surface until now. So, considering a bunch of water molecules, a bunch of proteins, carbonates, and so on, all holding together in this vessel, holding together with what? What is this force? Or what is this energetic layout that it was put on a molecular level to actually hold one cell next with another? Very simple. When these microscopes become very available and they start digging deeper into the structure of the cell, they realize they don't have to look for the God anywhere outside. It's already within every single one of us, every single human being, even the hybrids, because some of these are synthetically manufactured cells, yet they deteriorate very fast because they're not a product of God. So we have scientific science and we have a true natural science. That one of the recent ones, contemporaries, Nikola Tesla, was absolutely so adamant to show everybody what and how this being of ultimate creation is part of every single one of us, every single one of living being on this planet. So, holding us together, this little molecule, when you microscopically observe it, you can see some of these photos. To me, it looks absolutely beautiful cross. So Christ energies are holding us together. Or what's the opposite of the Christ energies is all the others that I'm talking for a decade now. Greeds, competitions, jealousies are the actual product of the dark and sinister agenda where people have no respect to God by not respecting their body, by not being able to even allow that these fake scientific teachings through our recent 200 years of science is absolutely twisted outside of the domain of there is something bigger that has to really exist, and it has a beautiful opportunity to create us on its own accords, to his own likings. So when creatures like present scientists in CERN claiming they created a God's particle, to me it's absolute blasphemy, because these guys are creating an open portal to the dark entities who are going to be or trying to come into this our organic reality and even teach us how not to be healthy anymore. So for the last 100 years we just been taught how to die faster, yet pretending that we want to live longer and being less attached or less connected with the Prime Creator. As much as we allow not to be attached with a God or Prime Creator, we end up to be less solid. I mean, spirituality brings a solidity in our body, solidity in the terms of the laminin. It's holding every single piece together. So when these links start breaking up, the body becomes ill. Body becomes on the cellular level first, and then on the purely physical level, you can see people are getting old, getting shriveled, getting ill, crooked, and absolutely cancer eaten. So when you think, what is the cancer? How this thing start producing in our bodies? It's like our cells start fighting each other. As we presenting on the outside the same approach to another human, we completely disregard our inner harmony, our inner peace between ourselves, because we are showing all ourselves outside what we're doing with another human. Doesn't matter, other nation, other tribe, whoever we fighting, wife, children, anybody. We based our existence, present existence, on the fight or flight mode. And this is a frequency that's actually damaging the laminin structure inside our physical body. And it looks like a cross, like this. So if some of these links gets crooked, it just deteriorate, and then particles on this side, like our cells, becoming loose. They're not part of the common organ or whatever organ that this laminin was holding. So it becomes almost like an outside body inside the human body, which is a unique organ in itself, yet very recognizable. So the worst, in my view, enemy of this laminin holding agent, it's like a true holding agent from Prime Creator, given to us to actually keep us in one piece, keep us healthy, keep us unlimitedly alive. Yet we do everything opposite to destroy these links within ourselves through the rest of the human really ignorance towards our own bodies and towards our own connection with the Prime Creator through our body. Because if we don't respect our body within, how we can respect the creative force that created our body? We did not create our body. I didn't create my own personal body, yet it was given to me on, let's say, on the loan. And then how long I'm going to be able to use it, it's really up to me and up to my standards of being healthy all the time. Not just being healthy for the time of photo shoot or the time of first 20 years of my life, or I want to be healthy forever. So I want to hold all my particles, all my cells together in absolute harmony. So how to achieve it? It's to present outside that we are harmonic beings, that we are beings who live in a harmony within ourselves, so we start reflecting this same harmony and peace outside. It looks very simple, and I tell you it is. Once when you realize that there is nothing else that can prevent you to be in peace but you. There's nothing else that can disturb you outside of your harmonic behavior is you. So you are the only one who can actually fix this situation if you not fully healthy, or if you are very old and shriveled and you have no idea how to, wait for your last days. I can tell you, you can absolutely change this attitude and start becoming younger. You start living your life for the first time within towards outside, not as it was taught to us. It was like brainwashed that we have to all mimic whatever we see around, and then we start behaving the same way. And we try to treat the animals the same way, the sheep, the cows, and the rest of the population that was domesticated. Yet these animals will eventually start taking their own freedom, and they will not allow you to be, domesticating anybody. You cannot domesticate your child if it's very strong-headed, let's say, or full-hearted. You can teach it, or teach him or teach her how to become peaceful. But if you try to control them, try to guide them into a very oppressive way, you have to finish this school, you have to make that much money, you have to look like this, they absolutely will rebel. And you can see by their behavior, most of the young generations were on drugs or any kind of addiction modalities that destroying completely their spiritual link with the Prime Creator. And this was the goal of these dark entities who are ruling the world. They were not ruling only this world, they were ruling this galaxy for millions of years. So now time that we can talk openly about this, because we have internet, we have ability to communicate our thoughts with everybody else. Otherwise, just group of people around one, let's say, speaker or teacher, 20, 100 of them, they can, let's say, get some knowledge at the old times. And now I can reach really billions with this little message. And this is my intent, that these messages become so almost like good morning for everyone who's willing to come back to Prime Creator, who's willing to come back to its own healthy mode of living. Because being sick, to me, it's not being alive. Being greedy, for me, it's absolutely being dead, walking dead. For me, being competitive, it's nothing else but absolutely, greedy pricks who walk around and pretend they are better than anybody else. This is no life. This is suffering. This is how many of these creatures describe hell. And they start celebrating Halloween. Or they're greeting each other, hell, oh, hell to you. This is really not nice what we're doing to each other. Until we start realizing that we don't have to. That we can actually transpire this outside relationship with the world. Make a connection within yourself, with creation within yourself. And one of these very, very tiny little points is the molecule of laminin. Please do the research and try to comprehend how important is that there is an energy, there is a force that is holding every single cell of yours together. Would you be grateful that this force is like so powerful that doesn't question you, doesn't have to ask you a permission? You have to breathe now 6 times in 20 seconds, and then your heart has to beat I don't know how many times a minute, and so on. And again, these are the almost like automatic, godly given figures or godly given actions that we don't have to worry about. We just have to accept it. It's there, and it's not something that we can control, that's something that we can influence. I mean, it's influenced from the outside, inside, by all the frequencies possible they can hit us. Yet it's up to us to start realizing that we don't have to accept them anymore. So start accepting that there is a force that's holding you together. For how long? It's really up to you.